It's a relatively straightforward application, but we would often do this kind of as a piggyback on class and groups, and that makes it a little easier. So I want to make sure you're clear and maybe introduce a few new things here. So this scenario here is that you've been hired by the university to evaluate how people are using, and I put the library here, but pick a space of your choosing, fitness center, civic space, park, wherever. If you absolutely cannot get on campus before Tuesday night to do this, pick another space. Okay, you decide to conduct this evaluation using observations. Here's what you're going to do. What are you observing? Is it the number of people using the fitness equipment? Is the duration of people using fitness equipment? Is it the time between someone checking in at the front of the fitness center, which would be a cue to behavior, getting on an exercise bike? So what is it? Make a clear definition of that behavior, and it needs to be super clear. When we do this in groups, I often find this trips people up, believe it or not. They think they're doing something simple, and inevitably there's a wrench in it somewhere. So be very clear about the behavior. Decide on your mode of observation. So the texting we talked about class gives you kind of 3 different ways to think about that, 3 different spectrums of observation. You need to think about each 3 of those and describe where you are on that. Describe the procedure. Exactly how are you observing? Where are you sitting? Are you covert? Are you full participant? Are you non-participant but overt? What are you doing? Okay. Determine your sampling strategy. Now, frequently you won't have a sampling strategy. It really depends on what you're doing here. But it is possible, say for example, if you were doing the time between checking in at the front desk queue to being on exercise equipment behavior, and you can't get everybody coming in because it's just too much, so you choose to follow every 5th person, so it's stratified random in that case. If you're just looking for everybody, it's called census sampling. You're not really doing a sample, you're doing the entire population. That's census sampling. Okay. What are you going to use? Interval, frequency, duration, latency, time sampling, or spot checking. We went over these briefly on Thursday. I'll also include another video that kind of a refresher on that. It's the same video I do for programming, but it's a refresher. Okay. Set up your observation sheet to match your sampling strategy. Observe for 30 minutes. If you do this in a group, and I encourage you to, although each person is going to submit their own assignment, but you don't have to. But if you do this in a group, you should all be sitting separately, observing the same behavior, same strategy, like you're trying to do the same thing. You want to see how much you agree. Okay? Don't communicate with each other. Okay? It's every person observe. If you do this by yourself, that's okay too. We'll get there. Analyze, summarize your data. Write the results. What did you see? Based on those results, what do you recommend? I'm kind of going a little out of order here, but you can read. Okay. Evaluate your observation instrument. You're the instrument here. So what worked, what didn't for you? If you do this as a group, compare your answers. Okay. And this is as a group, determine the inter-rater reliability of your observation. If you are not in a group, I want you to make up information for the other people. Inter-rater reliability, I'm going to go over briefly here now. It's actually can be a complex topic. I'm going to give you kind of a cheat way to do it, which isn't exact, but it gets the concept, and what I really want you to understand is the concept. So let's say we're doing a frequency count, and that's what people normally do. You don't have to, but and let's say person number 1 observed 5 people smiling, or person number 6 observed 6 people, 2 observed 6. I'm just throwing numbers out. Number 2 observed 6 people smiling. Number 3 observed 8 people smiling. So here's how I want you to think about that. We all agree that there's at least 5. So we have 5 agreed. 5 agree. We agree on 5. But there is up to a total number of observations here. Okay, that could be up to 8. And let's screw this up. This is not right. Maybe I shouldn't. I'm going to be worried. We've gone this bridge now. Let me do this with 2 people. It's easier. I'll only require you to do it with 2. Let me do it that way. Okay. It gets complicated beyond that. And since we're teaching you a cheating way anyway. Say you observe 6, your partner observes 9. So we both agree that there's at least 6. Okay, but there could be as much as 9. Okay. So we'll say we add those. That's a total of 15 observations. Okay, we agree on 12 of them. So we go 12 divided by 15. Our array reliability is 80%. We agree on 80% of them. Again, I'm really more interested in the concept here. I'm kind of teaching you a cheat way to do it, but I'm really interested in you conceptually understand this. So the higher the reliability, the more you agree. Okay. Let me do one more example here because I know I can explain this poorly. Person number 1 sees the behavior occur for 30 seconds. Person number 1 sees the behavior observed for 45 seconds. Okay, so we have a total of 75 seconds there. We agree on at least 30. We agree on at least 30, so we agree on 60. So 60 seconds of agreement, 15 seconds of non-agreement, and array reliability, that was coincidence, we're at 80% again. Okay, so that's how you do that. Okay. Describe how you'd improve the process next time based on your data, and this is really where most of your points are going to come from. Okay, based on your data, what recommendation would you make for the university? To receive full credit here, your recommendation should be based firmly in and refer to your data. Do not just spout off something that has nothing to do with what you observed. You may be right, but based on your data, and I want to go back and back and back to this and all everything we do, based on your data, does it sound redundant yet? How does your observation inform the evaluation? Okay. When you're done, submit via Blackboard. You know that drill. Type it up, make it nice. Submit individually. Since this is taking the place of class, I'll give you a little extra time. So Tuesday by midnight. If you have any questions, I will be available by email. You'll probably see me in this format a couple times this week. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll talk to you soon.